Well, this must be something good because we are joined by a lot of people. But I'm going to be the only one that speaks, and Kaz is going to be the only one that answers your questions. But we have, only in the order it was given to me, there's nothing that I want anybody to read into this. Councilmember Ignazio, Vinny. Hello. Councilmember Deborah Rose, Councilmember James Otto, Councilmember Dominic Recchia, and Councilmember Donovan Richards. And then we have Assembly Member Phil Goldfeder, Borough President Jim Molinaro, and Director of Housing and Recovery Brad Geer. I don't know why Brad got his name stuck in there, but he did. But he's the one doing all the work. Anyways, let's get to something serious. I don't think there's any question that Sandy was the worst storm ever to hit the city, certainly in modern day. Its impacts were huge, and they were also highly personal. Every single person that the storm affected experienced his or her own particular Sandy and a unique set of heartbreaks and setbacks. And we're going to pay close attention to meeting the specific needs of each New Yorker as we help them rebuild their homes. And today we're announcing the launch of that rebuilding effort. It is called, as you can tell from the signs, NYC Build It Back. And I strongly urge all New Yorkers who own or live in homes that Sandy damaged to sign up for this program starting today. To be eligible, you simply must be a homeowner or renter whose primary residence in our city was damaged by Hurricane Sandy, or be a landlord whose property in the city was damaged by Sandy. You can register by calling 311 or by going to the city's website at nyc.gov and linking to Build It Back. Now, whether you register online or by phone, we're going to make sure you get the personal attention that you need. And we'll do that by assigning a housing recovery specialist to everyone who registers. So there'll be a specific person that you can liaison with. They'll be trained to determine your eligibility for the program and to guide you through the process every step of the way. The goal of NYC Build It Back is to help New Yorkers affected by Sandy return to sustainable homes. And we understand that there's more than one path to that goal. In fact, we've identified 4 different paths, and I wanted to just briefly outline each of them. First, there's repair. If your home needs repairs through NYC Build It Back, a city-managed contractor will take care of them for you, or you can select your own contractor within that program and within program guidelines and cost limits. Second, there's rebuilding. If that option is right for you, we'll help you choose a home model designed specifically for your community using plans pre-approved by the city and built by a city-selected contractor, or again, you can choose your own contractor. Third, there is reimbursement. If you spent your own money on minor repairs, we'll help you recover the out-of-pocket costs you're eligible to claim. And fourth, there is acquisition. We know that most families want to finish fixing their homes or get back into them, but it is true in some cases based on level of damage and other factors. Owners may want to voluntarily sell their homes and relocate. The city and state have been working together to determine when it is appropriate to offer to purchase such properties. The city will work with the communities and developers to strategically redevelop those properties in a smarter, more resilient way. And housing recovery specialists will be able to explain those options to you as well. There will also be assistance for eligible renters and for those who need help relocating. In designing NYC Build It Back, we learned from the experience that other cities had after other disasters. Our goal is to make our assistance packages simple and understandable and gear them to fulfilling unmet needs. In other words, to providing the assistance that will help you return to a safe, sustainable home after taking into account the resources you may already receive from FEMA, private insurance claims, or other services. And to help us do that, you'll be told when you register about the documentation you need to provide. And all of that is described online at the Build It Back link at nyc.gov, and 311 call takers will be able to help you with that as well. Build It Back, NYC Build It Back, is being funded with about $648 million of the $1.77 billion in federal Sandy recovery funds the city is receiving through the Department of Housing and Urban Development. The Build It Back funds also include about $108 million to retrofit public housing and make it better prepared for future storms. And these federal monies are the first of what we expect will be several installments of HUD Community Development Block Grants coming to the city for Sandy recovery. The flow of these funds into our city is a tribute to the hard work of New York's 2 U.S. senators and of the members of our state's congressional delegation from both parties. It also demonstrates the close working relationship we have with HUD Secretary Sean Donovan, who is leading the Obama administration's Sandy recovery efforts. We expect to continue the Build It Back program with future installments of federal funds, but registering for the program now is important so we can begin to help you make a permanent recovery. It will also help us set priorities so that the New Yorkers who experience the most severe damage and who have the greatest financial needs can get prompt attention. We're committed to doing all that we can to help New Yorkers that Sandy hit the hardest. And that's why last week we also announced some $90 million in property tax relief for businesses and homeowners affected by Sandy. Now, before taking questions, I just want to say that I was sorry to hear this morning of the death of Senator Frank Lautenberg. I know some of you knew that Frank very well. He was a fighter for his state and for America and for causes that go from one state to another. I don't think anybody fought harder in the U.S. Senate for Congressman Michael Grimm. Nice to see you. No one fought harder in the U.S. Senate for sensible gun safety laws that would keep guns out of the hands of criminals and other dangerous people. And he fought to the end, going back to Washington from the hospital, to cast a vote in favor of gun legislation the Senate was considering in April. For years, he really stood up for common sense gun safety laws when many others in his party ran away from the issue. He was a strong ally of our coalition of mayors against illegal guns, and we'll miss his voice and leadership. Let me, before we take questions, just for our Spanish-speaking audience, describe the announcement today. Hoy inauguramos NYC Build It Back, una iniciativa que ayudará a los noriqueños a reconstruir o reparar sus hogares dañados por el huracán Sandy. Words are hard to come by this morning. I don't know quite why. Well, why don't we take some questions? But let me point out that the details are complex. And so if you want to write stories, go to the website and you'll be able to, I hope, get the answers to your questions. And what is really important here is we're going to have an individual, a human being whose name and phone number you'll have that you can coordinate with, and they will make sure that you understand it, because we can't possibly know in advance all the questions. But these are trained people, and we think that it's a level of service that nobody has yet provided any place, and this will really make a difference. So with that, we'll take